and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 8 English lesson on synonyms and antonyms. And before we start with our lesson on synonyms and antonyms, we're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as your password, once you've logged into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as your password, you're going to select the subject of language arts, grade 8. All right. So once you've selected the subject of language arts, grade 8, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of synonyms and antonyms. All right. All right, so we're doing our little chapter is synonyms and antonyms. Our subject is English language arts, grade 8. And the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of synonyms and antonyms is to choose the synonym. So it's to choose the synonym and to choose the antonym. All right. So synonyms. If we start with synonyms, right, then synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meaning. And the words, right, or let's say if we look at examples, right, of words that are the same or almost the same meaning, if we look at the word cheerful, then another word similar to cheerful or that is like cheerful or the same meaning as cheerful is buoyant. So synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meanings. And we made an example of either being cheerful. Another word for cheerful is buoyant, right? So you can either say the words cheerful and buoyant. It's really up to you. But those are synonyms. And then we have an antonym, right? So antonyms are words with opposite meanings. So basically, synonyms are words with the same or similar meanings, whereas antonyms are words with opposite meaning. And when it comes to antonyms, right, words with opposite meanings, if we look at an example, counterfeit, right, is the antonym of the real world or the real deal. Because counterfeit, right, it's almost like it's fake or forged. All right. So we said that synonyms are words with the same meaning, whereas antonyms are words with opposite meanings. So here are a few. If we look at these words on the right, they say synonymous words that have similar meaning, antonyms are words that have opposite meaning. And if we look at those words, right, there we will find a few examples of words with the same meaning, and we'll have a few examples of words with opposite meaning to, let's say, the next one. If we go through the line of synonyms, right, then we'll say words that's either the same meaning or almost the same in meaning is clever. So, for example, if we look at the word clever, right? So, another word for clever is smart, or we can say another word for clever is intelligent, right? Or bright, scared. Then another word for scared is afraid. Careful. It's like saying, be careful, don't run, right? So, which means that you need to be cautious. Be daring, attractive. Be attractive. And another word similar to attractive. And then we have thought. So thoughts, the same as mentioning thoughts. My thoughts are blah blah blah. You can even say the ideas is yeah. So thoughts, you in my thoughts, you actually in the person's idea, right? And then we have generous, right? If you are generous, then it means that you're also being kind to the next person. All right. So that is synonyms. And now we're going on to antonyms, right? We said antonyms are words that have opposite meaning, right? So if we look at these antonyms, right, then we need to say the opposite in meaning of these words. So we have hard, and the opposite of hard is soft. Rough, rough. But the opposite in meaning of the word rough is smooth. If something is too deep, then they say come and swim at the shallow side. Clean and dirty, thick and thin. Then we have even opposites, which is, for example, something that is cheap and something that is expensive. Agree and disagree, always, never, black or white. All right. So that is but a few examples of synonyms as well as antonyms. And we said synonyms are words that have a similar meaning. It's either the same meaning or similar meaning, right, to the specific word. Whereas antonyms are words with opposite meaning, right? So words that have opposite meanings. So now if we look at this what in front of us that says synonyms and antonyms, right? Here they're also giving us a word, and here you can divide it into is it a synonym or is it a antonym. For example, the word young. If we were to find the word that is similar in meaning to young, then it will be youthful, juvenile, and more, right? And with the antonym, so youth and the words that is the same or similar is youthful or juvenile. And the antonyms of is mature or it is an adult. Then we have a word increase, right? And if you look at the word increase, the synonym of that word means to add, to grow, to eat. It's almost like it's going higher and higher. It's increasing, it's lifting, and it's growing. But the antonym of increase is decrease as well as shrinkage. Then we have lethargic. And another word for lethargic is lazy and it's sluggish. So lethargic, we have words that are similar in meaning is lazy or sluggish. And then we have, when it comes to lethargic, right, the antonym, which is opposite, words opposite of lethargic is energetic and lively. And then we have vast. And the word similar to vast is huge and enormous. And the opposite meaning of vast is tiny or minute. So tiny or minute. And then love, a word that is similar to love, is adore, and it is to worship. And then the word's antonym, which is opposite in meaning of the word love, is to either hate or to detest, right? And then genuine. Genuine is real and authentic. And dawn is like saying it is sunrise or daybreak. And the opposite of dawn is dusk or twilight. So these are synonyms and antonyms, right? And we said synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meaning. And antonyms are words with opposite meanings. And antonyms are words with opposite meanings. All right, and we said we are doing our tutorial lesson on aplusstudents.ca. And we said our chapter is synonyms and antonyms. So we're doing synonyms and we go into the first lesson. It is to choose the synonym. And once again, synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meaning, right? So now we need to say which word is a synonym of perpetual. So perpetual, which word is a synonym of perpetual? And the word that is synonym, that's a synonym or almost the same as perpetual. And then we can say it is to continue. So the word what's wrong? So the word perpetual, it means to continue, or the word perpetual also means it is going on forever. That is the word of perpetual. It means it's going on forever, or it actually means continuous. Which word is a synonym of pertain? So we need to say which word is a synonym of pertain. And the word that is similar to pertain is to relate. So pertain, we're going to relate, right? It's like you having to deal with certain things. It's to relate. Now the word compensation. Compensation, right? And the word compensation, oh, so compensation, right? If we find the word that is either the same or similar in meaning, right, then we can say compensation is basically to pay the workers. So compensation, it's like where you're paying, right? It's like money that is given to you for a job that you did. You're being compensated. All right. Now we're going to the test where we're choosing the synonyms. We need to find the word that is a synonym of tedious. So tedious, is it detailed or is it boring? So the word tedious, is it detailed or is it boring? So when it comes to tedious, right, then tedious also means uninterested, which means that it is boring. So we need to find the word of tedious, and we said it's boring. And that is correct. Which word is a synonym of maternal? So maternal, we can say it's motherly. The synonym of covered. So covered is covered to be undisguised, or the word covered does it mean a secret? Undisguised, or does the word covered means it is a secret? We are keeping a secret. And if we look at the word covered, right, then we'll go with it being a secret. And covered is a secret. So which word is a synonym of disperse? Disperse. So disperse, does it mean it's to scatter or does it mean to shed? Disperse. All right. So to disperse then means it's like we are scattering things everywhere. So scatter is correct. Yes, well done. Scatter is correct. So well done. The word punctual. What does the word punctual mean? Does the word punctual mean that you'll be on time? Or does the word punctual mean that you will be responsible? Does it mean on time or responsible? So the word punctual, right? It means that you'll be on time. So well done. Well done. On time is correct. Persist. What is the word persist? Is it to vanish or is it to remain? Persist. So now if we look at the word, it says the persist. So the synonym of persist is to remain. Yes, because you're remaining, you are keeping on pushing, right? So it is remain. So which is a synonym of perceptive? The perceptive. And if you look at the word perceptive, it's like saying, oh, this is your perceptive of me. Does it mean insightful or does it mean wary? So perceptive. So this is your perceptive. This is your, let's go with insightful. And insightful is correct. And the word bestow. Bestow. Is it to store or to give? Bestow. To store or to give. All right. So now we're going to choose an antonym. So when it comes to antonyms, right, we said antonyms are words with opposite meaning. So now we need to look at the word trivial. And that is opposite in meaning of trivial, we would say is important. So trivial means important. The word antonym of fictitious. Fictitious. Just know that it means not true or imaginary. It's not true or imaginary. So basically, fictitious, the opposite is being real. And the opposite of glorify is to criticize. Criticize. Wow. Now we're going to our test. So we're going to our test where we're going to say which word is the antonym of the certain word. So the first one is, what is an antonym of arid? Is it cold or is it wet? And the meaning of arid means that you're either lacking something like excitement or meaning, or it can also be having little or no rain. Just too dry and barren to support vegetation. So arid, it even means having little or no rain. Too dry, barren to support vegetation. So does it just mean it is cold because it's not wet? Oh, it's wet. Okay. And then the word abate. The word abate. And abate, does it mean increase or does it mean support? Abate. So we need to say if it's increase or if it is support. So abate, right? So the word abate means to become less intense or widespread, right? It's like just making something less intense. Less intense. So which means it's not increasing, but it's decreasing. Let's just go with abate being support. So abate actually means increase, not decreasing, right? So well done. Seems like you are on the ball. Well done. And I'm getting things wrong. All right. So which word is the antonym of biased? So biased. Does biased mean that you're being supportive or does biased mean you're being fair? The word biased does it mean supportive or fair. So biased, right? And when we look at the word biased, there we can say it is when you are being fair. And yes, correct. Well done. Bias is when you're being fair. Trivial. Is trivial important or is trivial minor? Trivial. Is it important or is it minor? So trivial. All right, let's go with the word minor, even though it seems like it's important. So trivial is important. It does say it is not important though, but it is important. So trivial means important, right? But if you check it out on the dictionary, right, or on, let's say, the Google dictionary, it basically tells you that it is not important. So which word is an antonym, which is opposite of suppress? Opposite of suppress. Is it to destroy or to encourage? Suppress. So suppress is like when we are, let's see, it's like when you're forcefully putting a stop to something, one into something, right? It's like where we are preventing things from happening. So suppress and then suppress. If you're forcefully stopping something, right, then the opposite of that is to just to encourage. It does depend on the context. But suppress is like forcefully trying to end something, right? What do you think is the context in which you feel the answer should be? All right, let's do the last one, which is dissent. Is it dissent or dissent? So, which word is an antonym of dissent or dissent? Is it to agree or is it to acknowledge? So, dissent meaning, right? Is it to agree on something or to acknowledge something? Is it to agree or to acknowledge? Dissent. And dissent actually means like it's like an expression of opinions or variance, right? It's like you're holding an expression and opinions that are variants of those commonly or officially held, which is also the same as to disagree. So, which means that we can maybe say it is to agree. Yeah, so dissent is to agree. And then defective. Does defective mean it is broken, or does defective means it is the opposite, sorry, means that it is working? Defective. Is the opposite of defective broken, or does it mean it is working? All right, then if we look at the word defective and we look at the opposite of defective, because defective means that something is not working, it's faulty. So the opposite will then mean it is working. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on synonyms and antonyms. We said synonyms are words with either the same or almost the same meaning, and antonyms are words with opposite meaning, right? And when it also comes to synonyms, right? Synonyms you'll find in a thesaurus. So if you have a thesaurus, which is like similar to a dictionary, right? In there, you'll find words that have similar meanings, right? So they'll give you different words that have similar meanings to one another in a thesaurus. All right. So this is now the end of our lesson, grade 8 on synonyms and antonyms. Thank you very much for joining the class and interacting. Till next time, have a good evening further. Goodbye.